Have you been searching all over the internet trying to find out what exactly it is that an OBM does? Maybe you have been a VA for a while and you're in the online space and you hear people talking about OBM, you should become an OBM, or have you thought about being an OBM? Like, what is an OBM? So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you don't know who I am, I'm Amanda McVicker. I've been an OBM, or an online business manager, for over 5 years, helping 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs. And I also have been mentoring VAs who want to make that transition to OBM. Today, we're going to talk about what it is that an OBM actually does. So depending on who you ask, you might get different responses, right? Someone who maybe has been a little bit burned in the past on hiring an OBM might say that they're just an overpriced VA, which is definitely not the case. But basically, an OBM is exactly what it sounds like, an online business manager. So if you think of a business manager for a regular in-person brick and mortar office, that is the person who is keeping things running, right? They are managing team. They're making sure the office is running smoothly. They probably have some processes in place that they are putting together and sharing with the rest of the team. And they're just helping to make the CEO and exec team, depending on the type of office, make their lives run smoother. And that's exactly what an OBM does, just in the online space. So typically, OBMs are a part of the team for entrepreneurs. Think like coaches, digital creators, course creators, creatives, service providers, things like that. And so OBMs help to manage their business. They do that through systems management, team management, and project management, which I think are kind of like the big three when you're looking at things that OBMs actually do. But it really can range on what the OBM wants to be doing in their business. So if you have a background that's more team focused, you might want to be finding clients who have larger teams, and the majority of the things that they need kind of come in the team management piece. If you're coming from a project management background, which I did when I was an event planner for years before I started my business, I came in with more of like that launch management, project management experience. And so those were the clients that I was looking to have. Sometimes you're more into like systems. If you have a past life doing automations and processes, things like that, you might be really focused on doing more systems. You can also do more specialized things if you want. And that's like the most important part, is that besides those three main things, the services that you have as an OBM are more about the things that you want to be doing, right? If you like copywriting, cool, you can have copywriting in your services. If you like editing podcasts, cool, you can do that for your client. But if you don't want to be doing those things, you don't have to be doing those things. So that is kind of like the basis about being an OBM. And when you're really looking at like the crux of what an OBM does, it's really looking at the structure. I'm going to turn this on real quick. So here you see kind of a team structure, right? So up here you have the CEO. That's going to be the person running it. Typically in the online space, we're not having massive companies. The CEO is going to be, the person who hires you as an OBM, the person running the business. And then you have the OBM here. And then down here, you have all of the different contractors, any contractors that they hire. But you'll see that the OBM is in between, right? They're in between all of the contractors and the CEO. Because I look at the OBM as a filter, right? The OBM is filtering what is coming, let's do up first, right? What is coming up from the team? The VA has a question. Social media manager wants to know what the launch schedule is like. The editor is like, where are we with, where's the stuff? Any other contractor, right? They have questions that they have for doing the jobs that they're doing. If all of those people went and talked to the CEO to ask those questions, the CEO wouldn't have any time to actually be doing CEO work, right? And so the OBM acts as the filter to get them what they need. So they're coming with all their stuff. They have all the questions, but then the OBM handles the majority of it, right? The OBM answers the questions, gets them the things that they need, all of that stuff, and then passes on only what is necessary to the CEO. What are the things that only the CEO can answer? And then going the other way, back down, right? If the CEO had to explain the launch calendar to every single person and give all of the direction to every single person, that again is a lot for the CEO to be doing. And so, as again, the filter, the CEO tells the OBM what it is that they're planning, their vision, all of that stuff, and then the OBM tells it to the team members. And this is part of what makes an OBM so invaluable. The main part of an OBM is to give the CEO back time, right? You're not directly making them money, right? You're not in a sales position. You aren't selling anything like that. But what you are doing is you are giving them, the CEO, the ability to do what it is that makes them money. You are giving them the ability to go into their zone of genius and stay there. There are random things that only CEOs can do that aren't money generating activities, but for the most part, you are taking all of those things that are not revenue generating off of their plate so that they can make more money. And that's what an OBM helps with. And so I hope this was helpful for you as you're thinking about what it is that an OBM actually does. If you want to know more about what an OBM is, if you're ready to make that transition from VA to OBM and how it is that you could do that, I have a link in the description for my VA to OBM workbook, which is a interactive workbook that you can go through to see, are you ready to make the transition? What are some tools that you would need to know in order to do that, and how you can make that transition with your current clients or find new ones. It's totally free, and you can get that at the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.